think we have a good number. We can start. Yes, as I've introduced myself, I'm Matalanga Eleanora. I'm a CSOK lead at the Dan Kimathi, and this is our second session of the Professionals Tech. And today we have our speakers, Lucy and Francis. I know some of us are familiar with them. Yes, so I will let Francis introduce himself. Yes.
Okay, hello guys. I hope you can hear me very well. Someone confirm. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Francis. I'm Francis Mwangi. Waithaka. That's me. Yeah, and I was a computer student at Dedan Kimathi Computer Science. So that means that I'm done. I'm waiting for the next graduation. Yeah. And right now, I'm an software engineer intern at uh, here at IBM. Yeah, and yeah. So what else? What else about me? So that's me. Yeah. Back to you, Eleanora.
Wonderful. So yes, Francis is an outgoing fourth year from the Dan Kimathi. Did you share your course?
Oh yeah, I said I did computer science.
Yes, sure. Yes. So Francis is an outgoing. He did computer science. Yes. So we're going to let Lucy introduce herself.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Okay, my name is Lucy Mutunga. I was in Dedan Kimathi. I was pursuing BBIT. Currently, I'm an intern at IBM. I'm awaiting graduation come December, God willing. Yep. Thank you for having me today.
I'll also thank you for accepting the invite. And for sure you'll graduate. Yeah. Okay, so Lucy, you had an icebreaker. So I don't know if you will start with the icebreaker or yeah.
Yeah. So we received the questions that you delivered. So we thought instead of coming and covering the questions directly, and we have till 9, maybe I can repeat something we did in another talk for those who are not there as we buy time, and let Francis maybe prepare for the questions. This will just be a tech interview prep. Basically, I'm going to repeat some of the things that you've heard. I'm going to remind you. So you need to practice a lot of lead codes and maybe hacker rank, because if it's a tech role that you are aiming, you will at some point have to encounter these coding exercises. So it will be good if you've done a lot of practice and you are comfortable to do some of these exercises, because for sure you'll have to do them. Then in any interview, they have to check your behavior. We call them behavioral interviews. Therefore, for you to be ready for that, first go to the company description, learn about the company so that you have content, and you'll be tailoring your answers based on the company culture, their technologies, so you won't miss out, and you will appear like someone who is ready. And also make sure to demo teamwork, problem solving capabilities while answering some of these questions that are not technical. Yeah, so be ready for the two parts, the technical part and the behavioral part. Yep. Now we can start on the questions. If there is no, I don't know whether we let you ask questions first or we use the ones that they send. Eleanora, what do we do?
We can start with responding with the questions that were posted first. Then as we continue, people can write questions in the Q&A section or the chat. Yes, as we respond to them.
Yeah, so basically we'll be having a talk with you guys. So Francis, you can take over with the first question.
Yeah, I was muted. I was talking to myself. Uh, Hope you're having a good time and hope that this won't be a waste of your time. It will be something that will bring impact to you. Yeah, and there's something that I saw. Allow me to read it. I saw it in LinkedIn. Someone said on the authenticity and consistency make up the winning formula, meaning that something that really comes out of you and you do it consistently, it will give you results. So what I'm saying is that some of these things are not defined, like how someone ended up somewhere cannot be the same story for everyone. And life is so unpredictable, and that make it fun in a way. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So that's just to point out that maybe here you will hear us talking about some things that we did to get where uh, we are as interns. Maybe you might do something different. Uh, for now, I've heard of cases of people who have just posted their work on Twitter, and they have gained a very good position in some company. So yeah, it really defines if you can really be the best in what you do. If you can really bring the on the city the originality or on the authenticity in what you do and the consistency and be good at it, then I believe that you can be somewhere. So with that, allow me to just read the first question and we try to answer it. So yeah, I was just wanted you to note that. So the first question was about here I have it. Let me read it. How was the interview process? What is your day like? What is your day-to-day work like? What are the qualifications required for an internship? So yeah, the interview process. So one thing that we did, all of those that are in the interview, you have to note that first everyone had to apply. So yeah, we applied. After applying, we were called to interview. And the interview process was quite good, quite amazing. You'll be amused of how they do interview at IBM because you'll be shocked, or if you have not done any other interview, or just check the online about people who have done interviews and all that. You could see that in IBM it was quite easy in the sense that they are asking things that you actually did, things that and they are looking at your resume. Your resume is like your marking scheme, and they are trying to gather information from you. Do you know what exactly you are talking about in the resume? Do you know exactly what you are talking about in the project that you have stated that you did? Which technology did you use? Do you really know it very well? So that's how easy it was. At first, I was because I never had all the qualification they have. So when I was preparing for it, Okay, me when I'm stressed out, even I can't sleep. So there are sometimes that I couldn't sleep because I knew that this is the last step now to now get in there. And one thing that I did is just go and research and all that and know all these things. And I had prepared a list of the things that I would say. But when I was asked, tell us about yourself, I only told them my name and all of the things that I had put in my mind just flew away. Yeah, that's a, but they gave me an easy time and things started coming out slowly. If I'm talking about something that I did, of course, I will have a flow. So that's one thing to note. Yeah, I didn't have all the qualification and the preparation thing was stressing me out. I had to do a lot of research and all that. But I ended up not using what actually I had researched on, but just using my resume. So that's what the process. That's just something to note in there. Uh, so let Lucy tell you about her process. Maybe it's quite different.
Uh, it's not that different from yours. Maybe to top up on that, authenticity is very key. You don't have to know everything. So, like Francis has said, your resume is your marking scheme. So you've talked of a project in the resume. They can decide for the whole interview they are going to base their questions on that one particular project. So you have to really demonstrate that you understand whatever it is that you did. So know your things in and out in that resume. If you talk of various projects, don't just go picking projects to fill your resume and you know nothing about them. They, they can shock you. The whole interview can be just based on one project. That is what happened to me. Mine, they they were fascinated with the game of learners thing. The the translator that we worked on for the Microsoft season 4. So imagine if I went there and I know shit, I know nothing about Game of Learners. I would appear like a liar, someone who doesn't know their stuff. So it's good to be authentic and know your resume in and out. Yeah, so mine was based on that one particular project and maybe some additions on the technologies that we used, how the process from start to the end of the project till we won, like how was it? So you have to really talk about your stuff with passion, like someone who understands their craft. Yeah. Um,
So you can continue with your work, day-to-day work. Yeah.
is that the same question? Oh, what is your day-to-day work like? Okay. Um, we are in different teams, so I'll talk about mine. Um, first thing is to go to the workplace if you're not working from home. And when I get there, I have breakfast. Then I start working on that day's task. Then in case I encounter any blockers, I reach out to my teammates. I work with several people, both in Kenya and UK. So depending on what kind of blocker it is, I know the specific person to reach out to. We can, okay, I won't go into details of that. So after that, I can have a break. I can go take some snacks, come back, continue working, then go for lunch, then come back for Scrum meeting. And in the Scrum meeting, we explain what we've been doing through the day. So, and if you've encountered any blockers that they have not been solved yet, you say, and we tell the rest of the team what we'll be working on next. Then after the Scrum meeting, I continue working on my task if I'm not yet done. And if I'm done, I can go home or have some team building activities. Yeah, that's my day-to-day thing.
Okay, for me, my team, one thing that I asked during my interview when I was given a chance to ask, I asked them, do you train someone? Then I'll give them a grace period, then give them some work to do. And they told me that no, the thing that you will do is that when you come here, you start the project right immediately. So you have to figure your way out. And so we're working on real-time project. Uh, Lucy, every team, I think we are working on real-time project. Whatever Lucy is working on, by the way, is being pushed to deployment right away. Once it is pushed to main, it goes to the deployment. For me, I'm doing more of fine-tuning uh, fine-tuning models. These models that can be used now in what Lucy is doing, it can be used there. So once it is fine-tuned, because it can be either open source, it can be open source, you can find it on Hugging Face, or otherwise find it in in Lucy's platform, which she and her team are building. So yeah, we are working on a real-time project. So basically, my day-to-day life is like Lucy's. We have meetings and all that, and here you find that there is good work ethic. You find people that you can learn from. So yeah, we just do that. We learn from people. We figure things out. We are googling everything and all that, and just trying to come up with something, reading papers and all that, just to make sure that whatever you are producing is really of standards, because companies such as this, they really know their standards, and you must fulfill them in order for now your code to be pushed to main, if that's so. So yeah, so it's all about learning, and it's all about figuring a way out. Yeah, so mine is not of difference with that of yours. The next question was, what are the qualifications required for an internship? Basically, when we are talking about internship, that means that you have to be in school. You must be maybe undergraduate or postgraduate, but still in school. That means you have not graduated. You are in your undergrad, you have not graduated yet, you have not gotten the degree. You're in masters, you have not gotten it yet. You're in PhD, you have not gotten it yet. So we have different people. We have the undergrads, we have the people who are in masters and PhD. The expectations of all these people are different according to the where they are placed, but we generally work together. So yeah, the qualification first of all is be a student. Because it's an internship, it's not an entry job. Another thing is that whatever you know, you really know it, or whichever skills that you have, you are really good in it, because that's what they will want to see. Are you good in it? And another thing, are you curious about things? Another thing is that, do you really know what is happening in the world in terms of tech trends and all that? So I think those are the qualification. What I would urge anyone here who is still a student and wants to to get in such an internship is to have something that you can really show that you really know what you are doing. You have those skills. So I think that's what it entails. Maybe Lucy can say if I've gotten anything.
Yeah, you've talked, you've said almost everything. So I'll just add a few. Um, you have to know something, and you have to be able to demo what you know. maybe not demo or explain in details what it is that you know, and show willingness to learn, because you are applying for an internship. That means you're not really you've not gotten into the industry yet, so you don't have perfect knowledge on what you're working on. So be willing to learn. Just show willingness to learn and at least know something and be able to explain it to people. Yeah. Maybe we can move on to the next question. How does one create or structure his or her LinkedIn profile in order to stand a higher chance of getting a job online? Okay. Like Francis said at the start of this, people can have different ways of doing things and they can still work. So don't be limited by what I'm going to say. So LinkedIn profile. First, you need to understand what type of employers you want to attract. What is it that you want people to understand when they look at your profile? So if you want to attract tech employers, then you know what to do. Your profile should speak tech. Like you need to the things that you post. For example, hackathons. You can post certifications that you are doing that are contributing to your career growth, and these are tech-based. Or you can post teamwork activities just to show the right, to attract the right employers. So it all boils down to what type of employers you want to attract. So if you're aiming at something else apart from tech, for example, but this is a tech talk. So your LinkedIn profile should demonstrate your mastery of languages, maybe in the skills part, in the skills section. Any attachment that you've gone to, indicate it there. Any place that you've worked, showcase it there. Any activity that contributes to what you are doing, post it there. Let it speak for you. Like when someone clicks that link and they're directed to LinkedIn, they can see the contribution you've made through LinkedIn. So from languages that you know, certifications that you have, activities that you've attended, yeah, let it introduce you. Francis, you can add.
For me, before I go to IBM, my LinkedIn was not that great. I had 72 connections. It's growing because I'm in IBM. But I started posting when I got there, so I can't speak much of LinkedIn. But me, I would speak of resume. I think my resume stood out, the one that I sent. And for one thing, let me say that I used the AI to create my resume. But the things that I was in my resume is what I told the AI to do because it came from me. And one thing the company said that it was not disregarding an AI generated resume as long as, because that resume is what will be used in your interview. As long as what is in your resume can really affirm that indeed you did all these things, because all what it's just I never knew how to put those words and connect them together. But truth be said, I did everything that was in my resume. I just explained it for GPT to generate a very nice, outstanding resume for me. So I would say uh, it goes back to, it narrows down to what you have done, and after that, can you really explain now in an interview? Because yes, there are people who got into the interview and they were kicked out. But can you really now communicate well in what you do? And yeah, my interview was relaxed until when I was asked to say what I did, and that's how I was able to flow all through till to the end. If it's something that you do, so yes, maybe you can put your words together and make it so nice, to read using AI, but make sure that whatever is in that resume is true. So me, I will speak much of a resume that helped me to stand out, not the LinkedIn profile, though is of quite importance. Again, I told you that it's not a must to use the same way to get somewhere. There's different ways that can get you there. So that's it about my resume. So I go to the next question. How different do you think the experience is compared to internship that you did in a tech startup or a banking sector? Banking. I did my first internship at a place called Ramna Tech. I think is a startup. Maybe it died. Sijui, I have not heard of it. I might have been the cause, but no, I'm not. In this startup, first of all, startup, sometimes they give you a good experience. In fact, before I joined the startup, I had applied for IBM. During that time, I never got this position, but I got that position for startup, and it kind of revolutionized or rejuvenated something in me, because what I was looking for is what I was doing at school. Before I was looking out for internship, I started building my skills way before. And the things that were fascinating me by that time was Android development. So that's what I was doing. So I was looking for a position that could accommodate me with my Android development skills. But unfortunately, I never found any. So I had to go back to my drawing board and just pick any position that will come and just go and learn. So yeah, a position came, and it was this Ramna startup. The idea was to bring developers together, give them a project to do. If they do it well, call for investors, they come and invest. It was like a lab. And the thing, one of this mentor is called Sai Kumar. He's an Indian. Uh, so allow me a minute, a minute.
Maybe I can.
Lucy can continue. Yeah. Can.
Yeah. So I forgot something in the previous question. So if you have your own website where you have all these things about you outlined in a good manner, maybe you can have that link in your LinkedIn profile, or link to anything else that you think is of importance. Okay. So back to, okay, sorry guys. So back to this question. How different do I think my experience is compared to if I did my internship in a tech startup? I would say that I'll approach this question in two ways. It has startups have their pros and cons. You know, in a startup, you can be the manager, you can be the CTO, the CEO, all of them at the same time. In a startup, you can be both the front-end developer, you can be both the designer, you can be even you are a full stack developer at the same time. So you gain a lot of experience from all this, because you have a know-how of everything, because you're doing all this. But then in big tech, there is specialization. You'll find that there is someone whose work is just to come up with the designs, to come up with the designs. And then there is the front-end people, us now. We develop the designs, and then there are back-end people. They do their thing. Then we have the Kina Francis. They are dealing with models. Yeah, so you are only focusing on one thing, and by that you'll get very good understanding of what you are doing, because your mind is not all over. So I think that is the advantage with big tech compared to startup. In a startup, you can be anything, you can be everything. Yeah. And you find that your mind is all over. Francis, you're good? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry. Uh, it's great, right? Yeah, I live with my roommate. We work with him. Yeah, he was the one passing by. So what I was saying is that startup kind of sparked something in me. So I had to switch now from being an Android developer to now doing AI because Sai Kumar, he was a senior data engineer at Safaricom, and both Safaricom and Equity. He guided me how to look at AI, machine learning. So that's how I started off. And from there is how I have continued with working with AI and machine learning. So I would say startup is a good place to start if indeed you never got a chance to be in a big tech, because for one you really get to do a lot of things. You really get to learn a lot because you have to work hard and to prove yourself because this is a startup, and also it's not structured, so you are everything, like Lucy had stated earlier. So yeah, indeed, that's what I was able to learn in startup quite a lot, and to adapt now to what now I'm doing, it was quite easy. It's quite amazing when you get from uh, a very hard environment, then you get to an easy one. You find you're kind of motivated. So when I reached to IBM and saw how they are structured, the work ethics and all that, it really motivated me. So with those resources that were offered to me, because there before we were using our own resources, sometimes I had to buy bundles because the internet has not been paid. It was just a startup. So yeah, but here you have everything, and too much is given, much is expected back. So yeah, it kind of does that to you. So the next thing is what do software engineer do in big tech companies? Software engineers. So I don't know, but here we are structured. We have these are research labs, so many of them are researchers. So we have research scientists and research engineers, I think. Maybe talking to other companies, you might get a different perspective. But here they're the basically people who deal with development. But here they are combined with the researchers, which means that they come up with approaches on how to get to a particular place, or how to get a particular solution, and they use those approaches now developing something out of it. So I think that's how I can define software engineers here. They just because they're like combined. I find people who are software engineers here are still doing some bit of research. So yeah, but a lot of research is involved. But they actually develop real products for enterprises. Yeah, maybe we have something to add on that.
I just remembered something for the previous question. Uh, in big tech, they take a lot of caution. For example, you can't just download any software. They have to have some specific licenses compared to a startup whereby you can experiment anything. Yeah. So for this other question, or what do software engineers do? It varies. we have research engineers who develop projects around research work, and then there is the normal engineers, I mean, who just do the building of the platforms, the front end and the back end, integrating both. Yeah, that's how I can define engineers here. And as Francis has said, some engineers are also researchers. So they do both. They understand the research world and the engineering part. So they can develop, they can also do research. And on to the next question. What advice would you give someone who has just left university and completed their undergraduate? So you've just left university. What goal do you have? What do you want to achieve? Because you have to define this very well so that you know the route that you want to take. You can leave university and want to go back home, a mistake that I cannot advise any of you to do, but it depends with with you. I would advise you to have a plan of what you want to achieve and the approach. Sometimes these cannot be very clear, so you just do trial and error, but this is not good. You should have a plan. So if your plan is to get into a particular career path, there is always somewhere to start from. It can be a startup. First, what role do you want to pursue? Maybe you're good at programming, so you can apply for roles in programming anywhere, and don't be very choosy. We all start from somewhere. I did not just land at IBM. I have worked at various places. So don't be very choosy. As long as you know what you want, there is always somewhere you can start from. And if you get that first role, do your best. Someone told me you can be a chef, you can be a programmer, but the first role that you get or somewhere to just pass time, it's maybe a hotel, God forbid. Do that role that you've gotten very well, that people are interested to know, like they admire how you perform your tasks, and you never know who is watching. So whatever it is that you're going to learn to do, you put all your energy, do it to your level best. But first, make sure you have a plan so that you don't just apply to anything. You have specific roles that you want to apply to. And now from there, I'm sure, very sure, the effort you've put in, it will pay off, and you will land your first role, and that will determine now how your trajectory moves. Whatever the first role will be, do your best. Yeah, so have a plan. Francis?
Okay, to add on that question, there is a question here asking what are the roles of junior DevOps engineers? What role do they play at the job? So first of all, I'll introduce this one. You can talk. You can say your name and what you do in the school.
Hi everyone. My name is Almond Kerutu. I'm a software engineer intern at IBM. I'm a third year student in Kabarak University. And I'm pursuing my bachelor's in computer science. Yeah, it's glad to be here. I guess you've all known so much about me anyways. Yeah.
Uh, okay. So answering the question, first of all, is that we work closely with researcher. Yeah. So like what I think, because I was in their team, they're working together with Lucy. I think they work like whatever your researcher is doing, or the one who is on that team, you're also doing, but you take part of it. So it's not like because you can ask for help, yeah, when it comes to that. But actually what you are doing is what the rest of the people are doing. So I can't say there is that of maybe being a junior developer, and there is that is just that much is not expected from you. You are not expected to know very much. You are allowed to ask questions. So when it comes to junior and senior engineers here, I think they do kind of the same, but maybe those people who are engineers there, maybe they are doing other projects beside what they are contributing to in right now. Maybe he's in a better position to answer that. Yeah, you can just answer the question.
So the question is, what junior DevOps engineers do? All right. At IBM, I'd say it's different. They, as an intern, they expect you to be all-rounded for some reason. Yeah, they expect you to be eager to learn. So if you're a junior DevOps engineer, I think it's quite early to narrow down. I'd say you're a software engineer, and maybe you do know some stuff about DevOps. So what we usually do is, since I think also Francis did this as a task, so he created pipelines that will be used in deploying the products that we were working on. I think it was the annotation studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the projects that he was working on. And yeah, basically it's just creating pipelines, automating processes that manage our clusters and all that stuff. So yeah, DevOps is an interesting thing, but yeah, it's there's so much to learn in DevOps, I'd say. So maybe coming in as a junior developer might be quite intimidating as a junior DevOps engineer. I'd suggest just generalize, and have that one key point that you're really strong at. Because for me, yeah, I'm good at front end and all that stuff and JavaScript, but I can also work on the back end, and maybe I know a little bit of DevOps, but not that much. Yeah, so it's basically being an all-round person. Yeah.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I see Eleanora, you want to help us with reading the questions, then we can answer. Or what did you mean?
Oh, yes. So that maybe I can also cover the questions in the Q&A.
Sure.
Okay. Are you done with the questions in the form?
Maybe we can answer this one. What is the key lesson you have learned while interning at IBM? My lesson is you cannot know everything, and this I've seen from even the senior engineers. They still visit their Stack Overflow, they still read documentation. So don't shy off from asking help, and yeah, searching for what you don't know. Francis and Almond, maybe you can add.
Yeah, I think the key lessons I've learned while interning at IBM, I think is one is getting that being a mentee, like doing what your mentor says is something worth doing. So like don't think that you know too much. They have been there, and they have been assigned to help you. So, and really going asking anything, like I know some of us maybe can be afraid when you reach in such a place where you are stuck. Yeah. And also one thing that I learned is that people here are so much willing to help, so you can reach to anyone, and we really help you. And maybe sometimes your mentor does not have the exact answer that you want, but you can reach out to people. I think that was the key lessons. I want to answer another question here that was asked. What advice would you give to someone who left the university and completed their undergraduate? So for me, I may not be in a better position to give any advice concerning someone who has just finished or was done with the undergraduate. But I really think that if you have skills and you're good at showing them, let everyone know that you have them. Just meet with people. Before I came here, I was just interacting with people. I tell them that I know Python, I can do it, and I get a gig out of it. So just be out there, be good in what you do, and be confident in what you do. Like if you're given a task, you can really do it quite well. So that's what I would say. Yeah, I think that's what I would say. If you can maybe answer any question here or you have something to say, then now we will go back to the questions where Eleanora will ask, or back to Lucy. Before that, we can give it back to Lucy, then to Eleanora.
No, Eleanora will read the questions. I guess she has more questions because we've depleted these ones.
Yeah, sure. So there's someone in the Q&A. He's asking, is IBM stack or technology specific?
Stack?
Stack or technology specific?
Maybe I can take that one. Yeah, in some ways, yeah, they work with what works. So if it's research and it's all about AI, of course you want to use Python. If it's front end, yeah, don't expect IBM to use any frameworks. That was also a shocker for me, but they do use them, but in complex projects, nah. So it's just pure vanilla JS. So it's just what works, and what doesn't. So they are quite flexible. You don't have to worry about that.
But as long as it is like refraining from using like some libraries and frameworks, it's really a matter of security. Yeah, if something that is not really quite has not been researched really well and maybe can expose vulnerability, because one thing that IBM does is standards and keep their standard and all that. So if something is not really has not been really researched very well to know the kind of vulnerabilities that it can expose, they refrain from using it. So that's why you get some others they refrain from using the framework and just using the vanilla one. Yeah, I think that's the case.
And if they have their own framework, like for CSS, we'll use it. We use Carbon Web Components. Right, Almond? Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't use Tailwind or any other framework.
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay.
that is interesting. I'm seeing a lot of people are shocked in the chat. Okay, the same person has another question. Are you given an intern specific project or do you get integrated to an actual team project?
Here you're going to work with the actual project. There is no, this one is for interns. No, you're going to work with the team. The same product that will be pushed to production, it's the same product that you're going to work on. And you get assigned real tasks. So the UI that you're developing, the UI that will be launched soon, it's the one that you're working on. So there is no this one is for interns. You work on real world projects.
Yes, Francis, maybe you can add on that.
Yeah, I think he has said it, he has answered it well. Yeah, we are working on a real project. Yeah, and for me, where I was at first, I changed because I really found that my interest lies on other things. So I talked to my mentor. My mentor sat down with my manager. We sat down together and really and I was asking what I'm good at. So I said AI. And one thing that I was looking into AI is because I want to keep up with the trends that are ongoing. But working on a project that is different from what I actually want to do it will be a lot of stress, and I might not be able to, divide my energy. So yeah, here you can change, you can do that as long as you give a very valid reason as to why you want to change it. Yeah, so I was assigned to another real, like what we are doing now can be used for in the government of Kenya. In fact, our clients are the government of Kenya. Yeah, those are the clients that we have as per now. They were in the lab. Some of them were in the lab today. So that's what we do, like work on real projects. Whatever we push and whatever has passed all the standards is pushed to deployment right away. Yeah.
Um, that's nice. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to combine two questions. Michelle asks, how can I build my career in software engineering as a second year student in uni? And Beth has a similar question. Beth is asking that she has done her degree in computer science and currently she is doing her attachment, but she's not capable of developing. So because she did not do coding, so is it too late for her to become serious in becoming a junior developer?
Yeah, maybe I can answer that because I think I was in the same position as the second year student when I started off my first internship. Yeah, my first internship, I didn't know anything. I just knew HTML and CSS. And to be frank, that's what I used to develop my project with. So what I knew then, I made the best out of it. And it's never too late. You dream it and you can achieve it. Just dream it and work consistently towards it, and you can achieve it. No matter where you are, where you want to work, if it's Google or Microsoft, keep the dream alive and just keep working. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Or what I can add to that is that someone told me, or I heard from someone, that consistency can beat talent. So if you have something that you want to develop, consistently developing it each and every day, like taking your time and all that. And I was asked a question in my we had a talk last time, and they asked how can you balance between learning and developing your skills. And I said, if something is important to you, you will know how to prioritize it, and there is always time for what you want to do, if at all it's important to you. So yeah, you can squeeze in time and do that. Another thing that I learned from Elizabeth Musanga, he said something that is actually in my mind until now, is that if you need something and go for it so badly, the world will give in and give it to you. So it's all about defining what you want in life and actually pursuing it consistently. And the world will give away. Yeah, be that's an encouragement to us.
Nice. Maybe Lucy can add something.
Yeah, they've said it all. Maybe to learn from the best. If you know someone who does it very well, you can learn from them. You can maybe pair program or just watch them as they do it.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so I think we'll finalize with these two questions. Someone is asking, do you get tokens on monthly basis? And if yes, can you compare it with tech companies in Kenya?
Okay. Yeah, we actually get stipends. Those is what it's called when you are doing internship, just to keep you going. Yeah, and compared to other companies in Kenya, tech companies, uh, can you give me any tech company you know of in Kenya apart from Safaricom? But I don't know. So compared to maybe other companies in Kenya, working at IBM or this big tech like Microsoft and Google, yeah, you are really enjoying what you are compared now to the internship of others. But they are like Microsoft and Google, they are they are paid quite more. But here it's quite yeah. But yeah, we are enjoying what we are getting.
Zakabeji too.
Yeah. Yeah, the next question.
Okay. Someone is asking, are there any opportunities currently open at IBM?
I don't think currently there are opportunities.
Till
I don't
next
think.
year around May.
Yeah. And these big tech companies, they do internship on during summer. Yeah, and actually our boss said something to us today. He said that his main work is just to make sure that what did she say?
Yeah,
Every
it's
summer we have intern and
every summer.
Yeah,
employee.
and more. So so most of the big tech companies, especially those from US, they really take up summer internship. So be alert. Next and the summer, because we don't have summer in Kenya, start from I think June, June to October, or May I think to October, during that period. Yeah. So be alert.
Yeah, maybe just one tip as you close, maybe when you're applying, believe in yourself. They might say they want some experience in socket programming, Java. This is a tip. Just go and take a look. Just search on the internet, found resume templates. And if you've done a unit in Java, just write it there, all right, on your resume. That makes sure when your resume is being scanned, maybe by the ATS, it will pass. And during the interview, they might ask you, oh, I've seen you have experience in Java and blah, blah, blah. What you do is say it was just a unit that we took in school, but I'm confident in maybe JavaScript. That's the language that I'm confident in. So make sure you're just be shout on your resume about all that you've done. If you've done C++ in class, write it there. If you've done socket programming in class, write it there. Don't leave out anything. These opportunities are for us. And yeah, I'll be glad if we see more of us coming here.
And another thing, because I know that there's some here who have done they are done with their and I mean their degree. There are opportunities that comes up of contractors. I think, yeah, we had one of DevOps. So that one I would urge, maybe you be too good in that because they usually get a lot of application. And another thing is that I think that need you to be in a kind of network, because their recommendation, we are even sent to recommend people. But at that time, I never knew a person who has 5 years of experience with Linux. If I knew, I could have recommended. So that would require maybe you to know someone also, and you to be so good in what you do. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, just before we close this, there is a program in IBM called Skills Build, and you can access with your school email. So you go to skillsbuild.org and sign up with your school email. You'll have access to some softwares and what else? Yeah.
Yeah, and you can learn from there.
Yeah.
Open it.
Nice. Thank you for that. Gatere has a question. So maybe Gatere can ask your question briefly, like 1 minute, and then we close.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Eleanora. Kindly confirm I'm audible. Hello, kindly confirm am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Awesome. So my question is, actually, I'm in shock, first of all, being that there are no frameworks and we've been dedicating our night hours trying to master Next.js and React. So seems like I'll be going back to vanilla for some practice. So my question is, I don't know why I've started with that statement, because my question. Okay, yeah, I've just recalled it. There's something that you mentioned when you said that something. Actually, it's your friend Francis who said you did set up pipelines when you got into IBM on how to do deployment and everything. So I believe in this call we might have people who are getting started in this, and if you may kindly inform us or update us, do you have to have that skill or that concrete skill in that specific technology, like how deployment works, how to build pipelines when you're getting into IBM, or you can get to that is you can learn that while you are in IBM? Or yeah, that is my question. Do you have to have everything in line, or have everything in mind, have everything set before you get into IBM? That is my question. Yeah.
Very nice. So that's a good question. They had in their qualification, they were saying you must know, I don't know, cloud native, Kubernetes. I researched them. I was told 3 days before my interview. So I researched them, I wrote them down. I had stickers. If you could come to my room, it was mess. I can really tell you. I was really prepared. If they ask Kubernetes, I will tell them what Kubernetes until right now, yeah, I know. Okay, but I could really tell what it is and all that. But I'm telling you, I never talked about it. I just talked about my project. So how did was I able to do the DevOps? The reason first, manze niliteseka. I really struggled the first time because they were telling me to deploy things and all that. I didn't have knowledge about it. But one thing, when I came here to IBM and picked my laptop, I just asked my mentor, what should I learn to help me do the project? So he gave me a course to learn about Kubernetes, about OpenShift, about container and all that. And it was really helpful. So you find that when you come here, they know that you don't know. So they offer you resources. So that's what they did. They offer me those resources and I learned from there. Still, after learning, I couldn't be able to do it. I was that bad. But again, I will tell you that people will help. I called my mentor and told him, now we sit here. I'm asking you everything. And my mentor is good enough. In fact, alikuwa anikodia, then he asked me, should I be coding for you? And I'm like, no. I'm the student here. So I sit down and so I try to replicate what he's doing. So in such a place, you don't have to know everything, but make sure that you use what is assigned to you. That mentor of yours, make sure that you use him or her. That's what I did, and that's how I managed to do DevOps. Yep.
Just to add on that, with Almond, we knew React when we joined. Then we were told we are not going to use React. We are going to develop this with using web components, and now they are CSS framework. And we had to learn, and and we did learn. Right now we are building another project using that technology, and we are good with it, and we learned. We did not come there like knowing what it is.
Yeah,
So you just continue.
Okay, sorry about cutting you short, but you can just finish up. Just finish up first.
Continue. I just wanted to say, just be willing to learn and show interest.
Yeah. Just like Lucia said, that's true. I didn't know web components, like that native web technology existed. Yeah, so they're very keen on engineering and not frameworks. Yeah, it hurts your ego, but it's true. So yeah, that's how you learn. You just pick it up and learn. I don't know if you guys know the Primagen, but there's this video where it talks about at a point in your software engineering journey, you pick up something, you don't know anything about that whatever you're trying to implement, and then it's a continuous loop. You learn, and then you repeat, and you're like, oh, this is not that hard. I can do this. So you keep on doing it until you meet another challenge. So software engineering is that cycle for the next 10 or 20 years of your life, and until you become a senior dev, I guess. So it's just learning.
Or
Yeah.
a YouTuber for that case.
Yeah, or a YouTuber. Yeah. So yeah, just choose the learning path, and you're gonna do well. You don't have to know everything, but you have to know your stuff. If it's JavaScript or web technologies and all that stuff, know JavaScript at its core. Be confident about it. If it's React, be confident about it, because React is just utilizing fundamentals. So yeah. No, AI is not taking jobs. So yeah, AI is pretty dumb actually. I don't know what this hype is all about, but it's gonna get there. But yeah, you don't have to worry about your jobs. Just work hard and be good at what you're doing. Yeah. Keep dreaming though. Never forget that. Keep dreaming.
Wow. I think for me personally, I've been encouraged and I've learned a lot, especially the part of know your know y- know your resume. Like your resume is your marking scheme. I have learned that, and I'm sure a lot of people have learned a lot, and we are so grateful for for you guys taking your time to speak to us and explaining how your journey was. So we are grateful, and big ups to you guys.